Hello, good evening, and welcome to Candy's Crafts Corner. How are you all doing? Today is Sant Jordi, St. George's Day, and it's a very special day in Catalonia, the region where Barcelona is the capital of, that's where I'm from, because that's kind of like a Valentine's Day, but it's a special Valentine's Day. In which people exchange roses and books. It's also today International Book Day because today is the day where Shakespeare died, and also Cervantes had died in within 24 hours. So that's why it's International Book Day. So I thought that appropriately we'll do something book related. So we're gonna make a corner pocket bookmark like this one. Oh, and I'm not checking that I'm live. Okay, Candy, that's silly. I think I am. And we're gonna do this, and then I thought how fun to make a cardstock rose. So maybe we'll do that. And I'll tell you a little bit about St. George. If you don't know why we give roses, is because St. George killed a dragon that had the princess hostage. So here's the dragon. And it's a Gaudi-inspired dragon in this case that I just wanted to bring for this little celebration. And then the princess rewarded St. George with a rose to thank him. So that's why the ladies get a rose on St. George's Day. Anyway, and here's my Shakespeare sonnets. Anyway, let's put that aside and concentrate on the crafting. So this is made with, it's a nice bookmark. I like it. Let's bring the book back. I'll show you. It's very handy because I don't see where I'm at here. I'm sorry. I hope I'm live. Oh, I think I saw myself down here. Okay, gotcha. All right. So as I was saying, I wanted to make sure I'm on camera. It's very handy because you can put the bookmark like that, and even if you have it in a book, like if you have it in the back, if you open the book when you're taking it out of the back, it's not gonna fall like the tradition of bookmarks. So this, I think it's pretty on top of it. And you'll ask why I have this Wedgewood little plate here, is because this new set circle sayings that comes, it's a bundle that comes with the 2 3/8 circle punch, combined with the boho blue, which is one of our new in colors, which is this cardstock, and the white embossing. It looks like Wedgewood. And when I saw that, I'm like, I remember this is not my plate, it's my friend's Helen's plate. And I told her, it's like, oh, I have to borrow that because I think it's very Wedgewood inspired. So this color combination is very Wedgewood. Look, it's almost the same boho blue, the Wedgewood blue. Anyway, oh, thank you. Hi, Kate, and hi, Julia. Finally, I'm seeing the comments. So anyway, where was I? So yes, so that's why I brought the Wedgewood, because I'm thinking it's like, oh, with this circle design, it just looks so much like it. And I mean, you don't have to do it in a circle. I'm just happening to be using the circle sayings. It has flowers, it has shells, it has beautiful combination that you can do in 2 colors. Was a little offline there, so I'm not gonna use that, but anyway, just to give you the idea of what you can do with this set. It's very cute, and I love the sentiments too. So anyway, let's start with the bookmark, and then I'm gonna put this away to give my friend so I don't break it. And then we'll move to the rose, and hopefully we'll have time. So I made these 2 ones. First, I did it just with simple stamping, and this sentiment was a little bit big for if I wanted to put all the flowers there. So I thought, like, maybe we'll do the semicircle, and this is with the white embossing powder that gives you the shine, as you can see. I don't know if you appreciate it here. the reason I put this flower here is because there were two or three speckles of powder that when I put it under the heat tool, it was kind of like a smudge kind of looking, not too big, but you know, I'm like, well, we'll use one of these flowers, and these flowers comes from the Petal Park combination with another punch. I love punches because, you know, die cuts are fun, but punches are so easy. Anyway, so let's start with these, and I see if I remember all the measurements. Hopefully I will do. You can make this in different measurements, with different measurements, depends on how big you want your corner, but I figure that this size works pretty well. And what it is, this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square, and I use boho blue, one of the new in colors, and I already have the square cut, so I'm gonna put it here on the cutting mark, and instead of cutting, I'm gonna use the, how you call this again? Oh my god, my language is gone. The scoring tool, yes, the scoring tool, sorry. So we're gonna fold it like this, and then we're gonna do the same on the other diagonal of the square. I could have done it at the same time. I don't know why I had to fold it first, but anyway, you don't have to. All right. I think this is a great idea when you're giving a book as a gift, that you can make a personalized bookmark with that. And I'll tell you, my first idea was to put here the initial and monogram it for somebody that you want to give the book to. But then when I saw this, it's like, it's very Wedgewood. I want to use that. Anyway. All right. So once you have that, what you have to do is cut one of these. It forms 4 triangles. So we're going to cut one off. You can do it with regular scissors. You can do it using these. Let me see if this works for me. I did one each way, but you have to actually line it up again at the reach. And then make sure that you stop where your other fold is, the perpendicular fold is. So that will be more or less like that. I think I went a little over, but it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna do it from the other side, right to the center. All right. So a triangle will be used for something else, as everything. So now we are gonna fold one over the other, and here's where you have to use your discretion, and you see which way you like it better. If there's like a little bit of excess here of cardstock, maybe you want to do it the other way around, so this, or you can do it like this and it looks perfect this side. This is my side. This is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put adhesive on this side here, and I'm gonna use liquid glue, my favorite. Well, I do like them all for their purposes. We're gonna get the bond folder to distribute the glue and also give it a better crease to our corners, which you could do before as well. So now we have this part, right? And this would be already good enough to put as a bookmark. But I think that putting the backing, it gives it more sturdiness. I mean, this works perfectly well, but I like the backing personally. Plus, it looks like a tile. So this looks Wedgewood, but the tile looks like Delft ceramic a little bit. Anyway, all about ceramic and China today. That's my inspiration for the day. I mean, this paper kind of lends itself to it. And this paper, by the way, I didn't tell you, but this paper that I was showing there comes from the Countryside Inn, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Both sides are very cute, and it's floral, and it has some animals too. This has rabbits, then we have like birds, then we have more floral, bigger floral. I think for this smaller thing, for the bookmark, it would work better to do smaller floral, which is why I use the other one. So this has like foxes, and then we have trees, and that's it. And the backs are very cute as well. You know, they're like geometric, floral geometric, and okay, like with lines, and the color, like the colors are fantastic. The colors are the new boho blue, and also balmy blue, misty moonlight, which is one of our returning colors, which I love because I love misty moonlight, and night of navy. All right, so let's continue with this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put first the square that goes inside, and the square is let me tell you the measurements. I think it's 3 by 3, but just to be sure, it's just smidgen smaller than 3, because it has like the fold, so it wouldn't go all the way in. So I got like, it's 2 and 15/16, so it's just like very, very like that. So, and because we're gonna put decorate it first before we glue it, I got 2 squares of that same paper, and we can do it way. You can do the same that you're gonna use here. I'm gonna use flowers here, by the way, or you can just twist it around and use the other half. So maybe I'll do this for this one. I'll do this side. We're gonna put adhesive again. These squares are an 1/8 of an inch smaller, so they're 2 and 13/16 by 2 and 13/16 because they're squares. All right. Hope I'm still in camera. Yeah. I like how the rose looks in the corner of the screen. All right, so this will go like this. Now we're gonna put glue in this half, but making sure that you don't get exactly to the middle, so there's no bleed coming out. So let's do that. More or less like this. And then we're gonna attach it inside. Distribute the glue with your bone folder, and that's it. So now we have the basics, right? And we can do also cover this and in the back, which I did for all of them, and it looks like a little tile. This is a little bigger than this one. I don't know what I was, as I said, you can play with your measurements. It's a square, so whatever works for you guys. I don't know if I'll do this for the triangles, and then I'll cut another square for the back. So this I'm gonna cut at the diagonally to cut the triangle. Is the same measurement as before, and it should work. And if not, you can adjust it a little bit. With all the folds, sometimes it depends on if the fold is thicker than another. It's like that 1/16 of an inch that you need to adjust for, but it's not a big deal. Hi Joanne, good evening. I'm glad you like the bookmarks. There we go. See, this gets perfectly here. As I always say, the little bit of wiggle room that liquid glue allows you, it's always very handy. All right, so we have this already, right? And then we can put our circle here. I like the circle. You can leave it as is if you want. But if you want to put a message or put like the message here as well, make sure it's not too bulky, because this is a bookmark. It's gonna go in between the pages. You don't want to damage the book by having anything too thick. So no dimensionals for this this project. That's my recommendation. Anyway, so you can, for these we have options, and I had hit embossed this one already. But if you want to put a sentiment here, there's not much room if you do, as I said, the whole round of flowers. And how this comes is, let me show you. This is the stamp set. Can you see it? Or maybe I'll show you here. Okay, so it's like a half a circle. So you can use the half a circle and leave the other half circle empty, or you can use the whole circle, because they kind of fit into each other when you put both sides. Let me show you what I mean. I think I'm gonna demonstrate. Well, I'm not gonna do the both sides because, well, I can do it in a scrap paper. Yes, I can do that. Let me see if I can find a scrap now. Cannot find a scrap, but we're gonna make a scrap by cutting a piece of brand new cardstock. And since I wanted to do the Wedgewood-inspired one, and we're gonna use the boho blue, but just to show you, where's my stamp now? Oh, here it is. I'm losing my head. The truth is that I've got, finally I got my pre-order, and this is part of it. As demonstrators, we get to use, to order things, certain things from the new catalog before the catalog goes live, so we can create samples for you guys. And it took a while because they had so many, the volume was so big of the orders that it took longer than usual. So okay, I messed up my stamp here. All right, so I'm gonna do the circle just to show you with the boho blue. It's very juicy because it's brand new. And then if you turn it around, you see this has like the little area. It's a photopolymer, so I'm using my foam pad. And let me clean it again. I just should have put that in the middle, the stamp, so I don't get the excess ink on the. So it's more or less like this. I cannot put my head right over it, but you know, more or less. Doesn't it look pretty? I love it. I love it. I'm in love with this stamp set. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I want it. And it comes with a punch, so it makes it very, very easy to come up with like labels and things to put sentiments on. And the sentiments that it comes with it are great as well, very useful. So you can just go ahead with your punch and punch it out. Right about there, I think. And voila, you have a circle. But as I said, I wanted the Wedgewood-inspired one today. So we're gonna do with this stamp set, this color, the boho blue cardstock, and we're gonna clean the stamp and use our Versamark. So the Versamark is the ink that it's clear and it's a little juicier and it's stickier. So when you put your embossing powder, it stays. And I've already cut it because I don't know why, but because it would have, you know, I did it properly before. But I think that to put the sentiment, it was better to do it this way. Cut the circle first and then put the flower so I know where everything goes. So I'm gonna do just a half because I want to put a sentiment in this one. And if you have a smaller sentiment, you can still fit it in here, but these are a little bigger. All right, so we're gonna do it in two parts. So I'm gonna heat emboss this so it doesn't dry, and then I'm gonna heat emboss the sentiment separately. So I'm using white embossing powder, as I said, so we get this Wedgwood effect. Let me get rid of this so we don't have any accidents. And cover it, and I'm gonna now melt the embossing powder. I don't think I can do it on camera. Let me see. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, look at that. I don't know how I did my extension cord today, but it actually reaches. Almost. Not totally on camera. Let's see. It's not totally melted because I cannot see it. All right. Oh, still a little part that doesn't want to melt. Okay, now it's melted. So this is how it looks like. Isn't it nice? Doesn't it look like the Wedgwood? Oh well. And now we're gonna put a sentiment. And it's a bookmark, so I don't want to put happy birthday. But I think the warm hello will work. We can do warm hello, or we can do, hi Abby, I'm glad you like the bookmark. Smile today, or because you're awesome. But I think the warm hello is nice to have in a, because books are welcoming. So let's go for that, warm hello. All right. There we go with the Versamark again. Now that I see the whole circle, that's what I was talking about, like that you can just center it as you see fit. It's harder to do before you punch your circle, you know, right on the cardstock, because you're not sure where, you know. All right, I think this will look very nice. And I just dropped my little paper that I use for to protect my surface with the powder. The challenges of limited space, people. I know. I always complain about the same thing, and I shouldn't. But all right, we're gonna go for the message this time. see there's something here that I'm gonna just take it off. I have a special little brush for this kind of thing. And if you have the embossing kit, it comes with a brush too. So if you don't have that, that's handy. I just had everything separate, so. But anyway, let's melt this. I'll try on camera again. You're gonna need tweezers for this because this label is small. Let me see. I see a little speckle here. Let me take it off before it melts. There we go. Or we'll have to put a flower like I have to do in the other one. Hi, Leslie. Yeah, I think it's all melted now. So here's our circle. And now we're gonna get our corner pocket bookmark and we center it. And again, we're gonna put adhesive only on the top part of the circle in the direction that you want it. So like so. Let me get the Versamark out of here. And center it. And that's it. That's a very nice thing to give, as I said, with when you're gifting a book. It's nice to give a nice bookmark with it, I think. Oh, I forgot. We have to put the back for these. And let me see if I can cut another part of the DSP. And thank you, Leslie, for answering Joanne's question that I just saw. Good. Joanne, you're gonna love it. I love this paper. I'm cutting another square at the 2 13/16 because that's what it worked with my measurements. And then we're gonna cover these, so you're barely not gonna see where the two pieces of cardstock get together. All right. You can use with this, I wanted to do the Wedgewood-inspired one, but you can use any DSP with this that you may have, any color, you know, you can do so much. You can you can match it to the cover of the book that you're giving. So this is it. You like it? I mean, we have the other ones here. I think they're very pretty. Anyway, let's move to the rose. And for the rose, kind of have to wing it a little bit, but and let's see if I remember how I did it. Yeah, I think it was just folded in half, and I'm not gonna use the trimmer because we have to fold it then again, because you can only use the trimmer for the first fold, because then we're gonna fold it again on its own. These squares, by the way, it depends on the size of your rose, and it will work much better if you use thinner paper than the cardstock, because it's a little thick. But anyway, that's what I had. I didn't have a red paper. And just once more. Was it 3 times? I think. As I said, I don't remember. I did it kind of on the fly. I was actually experimenting. I also made this one, but I don't like it so much. So I think this one is much nicer. So then you get, this is where the thickest part is with all the folds are meeting. We're gonna do like a petal shape here, like half of a heart. So we're gonna go like this. You can draw it first. I'm just not bothering. And then we're doing the same with the other pieces of cardstock. I, as I said, used a square that was 3.5 by 3.5. All right, so the same thing. We're gonna do the same thing with this one. Bond folder comes handy, especially because it's cardstock. I wish I had paper, but the only red paper I had, it had another color underneath, and since you're gonna see both colors here, I wanted something that looked more rose-like. Oh, I'm doing the other way around. Sorry, it's on its own, and then once more, 3 times, right? Then the part that doesn't open, the one that stays together, that part, then we're gonna do, that's where you got it, that's the base. Oops. And we're gonna do this wavy petal here. Wow, okay, it all flew right after I vacuumed today. Anyway, and then we have 2. And then we have to do the last one. Oh, Joanne, you're gonna love that bundle. I love it too. I started playing with the stamp as well. The big stamp. Joanne, you're talking about the countryside one, or right, the countryside bundle. It's, oh, nice, Teresa. I'm glad that it's gonna be helpful for your niece. Okay, as I said, paper or thinner, maybe craft paper would be better, but like DSP would be nice. I just wanted, as I said, something that was really red, and I'm using Sweet Sorbet, which is one of the in colors of last year. And then before we open them, just cut a little bit the corner here, just a little bit. Oops, as I said, it jumps so much, but this is how good our snips are, because this is thick. Anyway, you can adjust a little bit. See, I don't like this size so much, so I can just do that. And then I'm gonna open the other one. This one, maybe I'll do the same with this one, just to give it more shapely petal. And with this one, hi Danette, long time no see, Danette, how are you doing? And this one cut too square here, so I'm gonna actually, as I said, once you do with paper, it's gonna be much easier to cut it nicely. All right, so we have these, right? And let me clean this area. So you see how it has the sections with the folds? So from the first one, we're gonna cut one of the sections. And don't throw it away, because we're gonna need it. From the second one, we're gonna cut 2 sections. And from the third one, we're gonna cut 1 section. Oh, 1 section, no, I meant 3. Sorry. Oh, okay. Never mind. It will work. 3 sections. Sorry, I was distracted. Well, it doesn't matter. I think it will work anyway. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna attach it with a little bit of tear tape. Don't tell anybody. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of, just a little, because this is gonna get folded anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna be seen. And where did I put my, here, my trusty piercing tool. All right, so now we are gonna glue the section on the top of each one, like, you know, like so. So like this section and this section on the size of the hole that we created by cutting. So we're gonna put liquid glue and hold it a little bit. And same thing with the one that's missing 2 pieces. We're supposed to scrunch it, now that I think about it, a little bit, to make it more, like, break the fibers a little bit more, so we can then give more shape to the thing. So let's do that now, a little bit, breaking the fibers. Just like that. And then we're gonna, this is the second time I'm making this, so that's why I'm like, kind of like, as I said, winging it a little bit. All right, so now we have the 3 cones, and we're gonna put the cones like this on themselves. The smaller one inside and the medium one in the middle. You get the idea. But before we do that, we're gonna curl the petals a little bit. So I got the tip of a brush or something small, if you have, like round like this, and then we're gonna round them out like this. It's better to wait till your thank you, Teresa. It's better to wait till the adhesive is a little bit drier, but you know, I'm not gonna keep you waiting for that. So let's do that with all of them. And at this point, if you wanted to use a little bit of sponging on the edges of the petals, that would be nice. I didn't do it in mine. I was thinking maybe I'll do it, but what I did, I used a little bit of Wink of Stella, so they get some shinier. All right. So now we're gonna leave this here for a little bit, and we're gonna actually form little cones with this. So look how handy it is that I used the tear and tape with that, because it will help me attach things. So you're gonna put a little bit of glue on the extreme of that, on the border. Okay, and it's not sticking. Just press it a little bit. can curl this a little bit, but like that. Same with this one. I'm gonna roll it first and then I'm gonna put the adhesive. I think that's gonna work better. Yes. Yeah. Then I can see I may not need adhesive in the whole thing. Just pressing in a little bit, pressing it so it gets attached. Give it a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes, like a little bit. Curl this a little bit. Not necessary, but I didn't do it in the other one, but it still looked okay. And then our little one, where you're gonna make a little cone out of it. As I said, much more complicated. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's much harder to do with the cardstock because it's thicker. This with paper would be much easier. So we have our little tiniest cone that we're gonna secure with a little bit of adhesive. And that's it. And now it's a matter of layering. You know, you put a little bit of glue here, not too much because you don't want to come the other way. And we are gonna go from the little to the bigger one. I do my center cones first. Let me put adhesive in this one too. This is coming apart because I didn't wait enough. But once it's inside, it's gonna hold its shape. See, now it starts having the rose shape. And then this one goes inside of this one. And you can, you know, make a smaller rose if you want and just leave it like that. Or you can continue make the big rose like I did. And we go. It's like building blocks kind of thing once you have the pieces. I think I'm liking this rose better than the one I made yesterday. And you can just turn it around and see that the petals don't lay all together, you know, like have them how you call it, like I don't know how to explain it, but you know, so if you have the petal here so that the other petal goes in between the two of them, makes it a little bit more realistic. Actually, I'm liking it how it's looking better than the one I made yesterday, but of course the one I made yesterday was my first one. So all right, the last one, let's see. And there you have it. That we have the rose, but now we need some leaves, right? So what I did for the leaves is use the circle punch. The circle punch that comes in the Circle Saints bundle. And let me cut this. I will have a little piece of garden green cardstock. What I did is I cut kind of like have a circle, and then put the same piece that I just dropped on the floor, and I cannot see. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll cut another one. Okay, let's see if I can get a piece like that. And then I twist it around to have the shape of the leaf. So we have one. Let's make another one at least. I guess I can do it here. I'm gonna do a bigger one this time. And then we put it the other way around. I think it came at kind of the same size. And let's do one more just for fun. I'll find the other one later. It's on the floor somewhere. I think it went under the sofa. Okay, I got it out of place. There you go. I love this sponge. I'm gonna use it so much. Let me get the scraps out of here. And what I did, I just marked kind of like the vein, the central vein of the leaf, and then I just curl the edge like that. And I will do the same with all of them. Not super mark if you don't want to, just like a little bit. And again, you can sponge the edges. I don't have the garden green here. It will look nice too if you sponge the edges of this. Oh, thank you, Danette. I saw somebody online putting the idea in some paper crafting group, not Stampin' Up, but anyway, because you can do this with anything, but we have good products for that. So now we're just gonna attach here whatever you want your leaf. I'm pressing a little bit so it holds. Maybe 2 is enough, maybe you want to put more, whatever you want. Depends on what you want to do with it. You can use this for the wreath that we sell in the kits, the wreath kit, because people were complaining there were not enough flowers. Not complaining, but you know, people were lamenting, that's the word, that were not enough flowers in that kit. So you can always add some more. Hi Linda, thank you. It's the day of the rose today, and you know, it's kind of like a big holiday in Barcelona and the area, and I'm gonna use now a little bit of Wink of Stella to put around the edges. So anyway, yes, a big holiday in Catalonia, and I love the tradition. And usually my dad will give me a rose, your boyfriend will give you a rose. But, you know, being so far away from my family and friends, I have to make my own rose. And I didn't have time to go to the bookstore and get a book, because that's another thing I wanted to do. But I owe myself a book too. Yes, I agree, Danette. I love how our community is so generous with their sharing. Nobody gets offended. You know, maybe no, I don't want the third. Maybe here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put the third leaf right there. Right there. And then, you know, you can, as I said, you can put a stem like with a wire covered in tissue paper and put a stem to it and put it, oops, okay, it's not, I have to let it dry a little bit more before I manipulate it anymore. What I thought I would do with mine was to put it on a box, and I had some dimensionals here, to keep it like this. And I had this box that I just simple made box with the dry brush paper. I'm gonna use a piece of tear and tape because I don't want to wait for the glue to dry with that. Okay. Yeah, the Versamark, dipping the Versamark is a great idea too. Let me get my... Then we put I put a little bit of that, and that's a very spectacular gift box now, right? For chocolates or a gift card or whatever you want. Anyway, so this is what I got for you today. I share a little bit of my Catalan traditions of Saint George Day, Sant Jordi, as we call it. And we did bookmarks, Wedgewood-inspired bookmarks, and the roses. Well, I hope you liked it. Thank you, Danette. Thank you, everybody. I think this is the most people I've had watching live, so I'm very excited. Thank you all so much. And more next week. Thanks, Joanne. Thank you, Leslie. Happy Sant Jordi. And I'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.